all the chess players out there that have been stuck on a certain rating for a long time and been wondering how come? Why am I not getting to 2000 elo? What's the difference between me and an advanced player? Well, I've been asking myself the same questions, and today I brought in my friend that is 2500 rated, and I want to see how his brain works and how his thought process differs from me and all the other chess players. Without further ado, let's get into the game. Do not forget, I will not be hearing my friend while he is analyzing, and I will not be speaking as well.
Cool. All right. So we got a Queen's Gambit declined, the Albin counter gambit. I haven't seen this in a long time, I'll be honest. And all right, what do we have here? My screen just loaded, sorry guys. So we have d4, d5, c4, e5, d takes, d4, knight f3, c6. Okay. So I have a confession. I don't play this opening at all. So I'll just improvise. I'll watch my friend. I'll see what he does. So e3, I like this move because he's not giving in. He's not moving the knight right away, because if he moves his knight, black can just play queen takes d1, king takes d1, and you basically give up your right to castle. So now I would start developing, maybe with bishop e2 to castle as fast as possible, because your king safety is like the most important thing, but knight c3 is also good. All right, castles, and maybe bishop e2, or you can also play bishop d3, and if black plays bishop takes knight, you can play, oh yeah, pawn takes, and if queen d4, you have bishop h7, which obviously, thank goodness that black doesn't play that, because he is 1700, so yeah. So castles, knight takes, and now I would either draw back with bishop e2, or I can also play like knight e4 maybe. Those are my two moves anyways. I'm really not the best here. I don't know how I got to 2500. I just play for fun, and I learn from my mistakes. But yeah, this is a great game. Positions like pretty much equal. Engine says that it's +1 for white. I have no idea how. Yeah, it's just computers being computers. Okay. And now my friend's thinking, which is good for me, because I really didn't know what else to say. Now he plays knight c to e2. So maybe he wants to reroute to g3 or to f4, or to just add another support for the d4 square. And overall, I like this move. It's pretty good. So now if I were black, I would finish developing with, yeah, something like bishop to g4, which pins the knight, and looks like it's pretty annoying. I would probably play something like queen c2 maybe, to unpin your knight on e2, so it can reroute to f4 to g3, and to continue support your d4 square without having to worry about pins and stuff. And also with queen c2, you target the pawn on h7 and you gain a tempo. Bishop c2, that drops the c4 pawn. I don't know if I'm overlooking something or not. Oh, because you have queen d3, right? Yeah, I am overlooking some stuff. I mean, queen d3 is just straight up winning. Yeah, I don't know how I'm 2500. Oh, he missed it. He could have also played bishop h7, king h7, and queen c2. to just gain back your pawn. But b3 is fine. It's, I suppose, the position's equal. You know, you kick out the black knight, and then you can fianchetto your bishop on b2, and you have these two big lasers gunning down towards the black king. So let's see what Mr. Matt XUS does. Yeah, I'm also not very good at pronouncing names. So, okay, now I'm back to e5. Now we just finished developing. Bishop b2. Cool. Next, maybe play rook to c1, move your queen up to d2, and then rook fd1, just to centralize everything. And I don't think that being a pawn down really, I mean, not a pawn down, like losing your c4 pawn really matters, but we'll see how it goes. And while my friend's opponent is thinking, we're gonna enjoy this awkward silence. Okay, queen b6. Queen b6. I like this move. You move your queen out of the way, I mean out of the d file. So next you can maybe play rook f to d8 to target the queen on d1. And also the b6 square is cannot be easily harassed by a minor piece. So that's pretty good as well. So we have h3, good move, bishop h5, good move, just keeping the pressure. And now the question is, how can you untangle your pin? So let's see. If you're ambitious, you could play knight to f5, but you can also stick to something safer. I suppose maybe rook c1, bishop b1, and then queen c2. Nice. So we have rook c1. Now maybe bishop b1 to tuck in your bishop. And now the difference is that if you played bishop b1 right away, your rook on a1 would be out of the game for I don't know how many moves. So now I would follow up with bishop b1 and then queen to c2 maybe. But there is bishop to g6, which is kind of annoying. Oh, g4. Okay. I honestly don't particularly like a move like g4, although the engine probably says that it's roughly equal, because I'm just a clumsy guy and I'm not very good at dealing with weaknesses like the f3 square, the diagonal from a8 to h1. And it's true that it gains a lot of space. With the move g4, you also break the pin from the long, I mean, not the long diagonal, from the light square bishop on h5. And maybe after you can play knight to f4, knight to g3, put your queen on e2. But the thing that I don't like is that you're inciting your opponent to play bishop to g6. And, you know, the bishop on g6 isn't doing that great, but your bishop on c2 is very powerful. And in my opinion, I think it's better than the light square bishop that black has. So I don't like the idea of trading your light square bishop that's better than his light square bishop. So anyways, let's see what his opponent does. I think he's calculating if he should sack on g4. And I mean, he could, but I don't think it will work because, yeah, okay, he doesn't. Because I was just saying that, you know, you have a lot of minor pieces. You have two knights that are relatively close to your king, and you can just swing those over faster than the opponent can bring in more pieces. So now we traded off bishops. We have queen to c2, putting pressure on the bishop on c5. And as long as my buddy here doesn't allow any nonsense like knight h4, knight f3 with a queen on d5, he should be fine. Now what I would do is, to follow up with this move, is if the opponent doesn't trade off the bishop with the knight on d4, I would probably play knight to g3 and put the knight on d4 to f5. So it also opens up the bishop on b2's diagonal. Okay, maybe not knight g3 right away because he has bishop takes. What to do? Queen c3? I thought queen c3 could be met with bishop e5. Or maybe he wants to play f4. Yeah, you see? Now knight h4, but I think it's too soon to play knight h4. Because the white knight on d4 is already guarding f3, and the queen on b6 is like a bit far away from the game. So it is a good idea, but I would have just kept it in my back pocket instead of rushing it. And yeah, well, I don't know. I'm not too sure about this one because I mean you just moved your defender of the f3 square away. Now I suppose knight back to h4, check. Otherwise you're just losing. Oh, but you have bishop e5. Yo, I am really blind. Yeah, now you have bishop e5. And I guess you don't have a choice to play knight e back to d4. Because otherwise I'm pretty sure you're just losing a piece, or you end up with a king on f3. Yeah, now it's completely losing because f takes e6. The f rook is protecting the knight on f3, and you're just a pony down, man. You're just a pony down. But we never know what happens, right? I'm wrong most of the time, so let's see what happens. Okay, knight h4. I guess that's also good. Move the knight away from the king's reach, and now pawn takes. Yeah, okay. And now you threaten to play like knight d5, queen c4. Queen c4. Yeah, that's not a bad move actually. Let's see. I would probably just keep it simple with like knight to d5 maybe. But you don't even have to. You can. Okay, rook f6. But now I took the pawn, no? And the reason why I wanted to play a knight d5 is because you also block the diagonal from the queen on c4. And the difference is that now, if you if you take on e6, it gets a bit more tricky because you have all sorts of discovery checks. So bishop takes b2. I guess you would just take the rook with check. I mean, otherwise you're just down way too much material. Yeah, check. And he should have gone king f8. Because now he has to sack it back. I mean, rook takes f7, queen takes f7, and probably knight h back to g6, just holding everything together. See, the thing is, like, it's very intuitive to put your king in the corner. It feels safer a lot of the times, but their king f8 was completely winning because the knight on d8 was actually practically trapped. It can only go back to e6. That was the only good square. The rook on f6 was guarding the f7 square. And now, yeah, now it's kind of, well, not kind of. Now I'm pretty sure it's winning for white. Because, yeah, rook c to d1, that's a good move. Queen moves, just take the knight, man. Yeah, and you can't stop rook to d8 check. You do have bishop f6 too, which you have to be careful. But no, knight f3, that's just losing because you play king to g2, not king h1, please. Because if king h1, you just get mated on h2. The only person who would play king h1 is like me, you know. And yeah, see, my friend isn't me. Yeah, take back the knight with your queen. Or even king h1 now wins. But why make life harder, you know? If you can just grab the knight. Nice, nice. Yeah. Now bishop f6, just queen g3. Queen g3, bishop e5. You can even take the bishop on e5 because if black plays queen takes queen on e5, you have rook to d8 check, and that's game over. g5 is also good. I mean, here pretty much everything wins. Black has 50 seconds. It's kind of impossible to hold. Bishop to e5. G6. Yeah. It's a good move. Fh6, rook d8. Nice. Cool. That was a fun game. Well played to my friend, and well played to the opponent. Well, I think that both players played well. It was a balanced game in the sense that both of them had winning chances, and I think that when you're winning, you just have to keep it simple. You know, block your opponent's ideas. Don't let any counterplay. For example, when
Bro, I'm back.
Sup?
What's up? How was the game?
How was the game? You
Yeah.
both had winning chances. You could have won 5 moves in. The guy could have
moves in?
won. Yeah.
5 moves in? Really?